we proceed.
Question number 5, Andy Wightman.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. To ask the Scottish Government whether it will take action to regulate growth in short-term letting of residential property.
Minister Kevin Stewart.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. The Scottish Government has no plans to regulate the growth in short-term letting. However, we recognise that some concerns exist and welcome the opportunity to engage further with stakeholders on this matter. Our Private Housing Tenancy Act will come into force later this year. It will provide security, stability and predictability for tenants through measures that include a new modern tenancy, rent increases only being possible once in 12 months, and tenants having 3 months' notice of changes to enable them to budget accordingly. In addition, councils will have the power to apply to ministers for a cap on rent increases in their area for up to 5 years, and there will be a broadening of access to dispute resolution through the Housing Property Chamber of the First-tier Tribunal.
Andy Wightman.
Can I thank the Minister for his answer? Over the past few weeks, I've been speaking to constituents who live in the Old Town and Grassmarket in Edinburgh. It's clear that there's a substantial problem with the unregulated growth in short-term holiday lets. We're looking at a situation where the residential population in these areas may substantially disappear within the next decade. One constituent has had very audible sex parties taking place in the flat above him. An elderly couple are now living out the rest of their years lonely in a tenement stair that's lost all of its permanent residents. Others are living with young families in a state of stress and anxiety due to the rent-seeking behaviour of a growing number of property owners. Does the Minister agree that the use of residential property requires a tighter regulatory framework? And in particular, does he agree that the planning system, and specifically use class orders, could play a significant role in ensuring that communities and councils have the tools they need to regulate the residential character, not only of the City of Edinburgh, but of many villages and rural areas across Scotland?
Minister.
I sympathise with some of the stories that Andy Wightman has given us there, but the planning system itself cannot always readily distinguish between different types of housing tenure. Where a householder proposes to change the use of an existing residential flat, the requirement for planning permission will depend on the circumstances of each individual case, and it will be a matter for the planning authority concerned in the first instance. I would suggest that Mr Wightman may want to engage in the current planning consultation and urge the residents that he has spoken to do so also.